Hey everyone, Tristan back with another video, and let's compare two closed-back headphones. I haven't done this particular comparison before. This is the Sony MDR Z1Rs on the left and the Audioquest NightOwl Carbon headphones on the right. They're both closed-back headphones. Now I have done a similar comparison in the past of the Z1Rs to the Audioquest Nighthawk headphones. I'll post that up here on the right, but I have not compared them to the NightOwl closed-back headphones. So let's talk about things like build quality, comfort, price, and design first, and then we'll talk about the sound comparison a little bit later in this video. In terms of build quality, I think they both have a great build quality. The Sonys are made in Japan, and they're actually not made in a major manufacturing facility. They're actually made in a small artisan facility within Sony called Taiyo. That's spelled T-A-I-Y-O. So they're made in sort of more of a hand-built artisanal way. Certainly a very nice build quality to the Z1Rs for sure. The Audioquest NightOwl Carbons are made in China, although they were designed in California. But you know, they still do have quite a nice build quality and are very comfortable. Speaking of comfort, I would say the NightOwl Carbons are maybe slightly more comfortable just because they are a bit of a lighter headphone, but both of these headphones are quite light. You can wear them for hours and not really feel it. They're both comfortable. They're both very comfortable headphones, and lately I've been quite a stickler for comfort. That's one of the reasons why I got rid of my Odyssey headphones, just because they're still a little bit too heavy for me. And to me, headphone comfort is just as important as sound, actually. So in terms of overall build quality, I would say both of these headphones have a really good build quality. Neither of them creak when you like twist the ear cups or anything like that. And again, they're both very comfortable and feel, you know, quite plush around your ears. That being said, you do sort of get what you pay for, because the Sonys do have and evoke a more sort of high-end feel to them, but you know, you do pay for that. The international version of the Sony Z1Rs currently retail for I think about $1,700, and the US version retails for about $2,000, whereas you know, the Audioquests are generally about a $300 headphone. Unfortunately, they're no longer made, but you know, you can still find them probably out there. So, you know, you do kind of get what you pay for there. In terms of the design, I think they both look pretty cool. I think the Sonys went out there in terms of the design. They just look a little bit cooler to me, whereas the NightOwl Carbons have more of a retro kind of cool look to them, but I think they both look really cool. The NightOwls have a, it's hard to see in this video, but the ear cups they have a Porsche dark gray sort of charcoal paint to them with a clear coat finish. It's a little hard to see in the video where they probably look black, but actually if you go out into the sun with them or shine a really bright light on them, they're actually a dark gray. It's actually a Porsche dark gray color paint to them. So, you know, very cool look indeed. But again, in terms of just the overall look and design, I would give it to the Z1Rs for sure. Now let's talk about sound and audio quality. The Sony Z1Rs have definitely more of a bass impact with the larger, big, huge 70mm drivers, whereas the Audioquest headphones have a 50mm driver, which is smaller, and also don't have as much bass impact, especially on the low end bass. Like if you have a hip-hop song or something with a lot of bass, you're really going to feel it with the Z1Rs, whereas the NightOwl Carbons, you won't feel it as much. You will certainly hear the bass, but it won't be as slamming. And that is just a signature of the NightOwl Carbons. The NightOwl Carbons have more of a smooth sound signature, and more of a signature that is leaning towards very smooth mids. And it does sacrifice a little bit on the low end in terms of the bass. Now the NightOwl Carbon headphones on the right do have a better lower bass impact than the Nighthawk headphones, so that's something to take note of, but it's still not nearly as much as the Z1Rs. The Z1Rs really do have a slamming bass, which is something that I really enjoy. Moving up into the mids, the NightOwl Carbon headphones definitely have a smoother mid response, whereas the Z1Rs don't have quite as smooth mids, but still pretty smooth in terms of thinking about things like electric rock guitar and vocals and things like that. So in terms of which headphone is more mid-rangey, it would definitely be the NightOwl Carbons. Now in terms of the highs on these headphones, what's unique is both of these headphones are designed to not have harsh highs. They don't have the highs that are overly accentuated. They're just very smooth in general. And I think a lot of people have gotten too used to having really harsh treble, and that's not actually realistic or a good sound. And they think that, you know, headphones need to have higher treble, and you really don't want, in my opinion, you really don't want a headphone that's throwing the treble into your ears. That's not really accurate, actually. Like if you go to a live performance, they don't generally tend to have really high treble, or if you listen to speakers, it's the same way. So for a more realistic sound, you might want to look at headphones such as these, which have a more smoother response in the highs. So anyway, both of these headphones were designed and engineered with that in mind. So both of these headphones don't have treble that is harsh or peaky at all. In comparing the two of them, the NightOwl Carbons probably have less of a sort of peaky or high treble response than the Z1Rs. In some certain tracks, the Z1Rs can sound a little bit metallic in the treble. That's sort of Sony's sort of house sound, however. That being said, the Sony sound is very sweet and not harsh, and very involving and very detailed, whereas you have a little bit of a lack of details when comparing the two headphones with the NightOwl Carbons, for sure. So certainly more resolution can be found when you're listening to the Z1Rs versus the Audioquest NightOwl Carbons when you're doing detailed listening for. So the Sony Z1Rs and the Audioquest NightOwl Carbons are both great headphones in their respective price points, for sure. They're both worth every penny, in my opinion. If I had to choose just one, however, from these two, it would be the Z1Rs for sure, because they're more of a reference, detailed sound quality. They also have, to me, a bit more of a euphonic sound signature, especially in the lower bass, and provides a little bit more oomph and sort of feeling, especially when listening to things like hard rock, heavy metal, EDM, hip-hop, and things like that. The NightOwl Carbons are still a great fun listen when listening to that kind of music. However, it's probably more suited to things like vocals and jazz and, you know, music such as that. However, you certainly can listen to, you know, things like rock, EDM, and heavy metal with the NightOwl Carbons, and you will enjoy it. It's just that when comparing the two headphones side by side, it will be more enjoyable with the Z1Rs for sure. So thanks for watching my comparison of two very capable and definitely worth their money closed-back headphones. The Sony MDR Z1R headphones on the left, and the Audioquest NightOwl Carbon headphones on the right. For community discussion or any questions, please leave a comment. And if you thought this video was cool, give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video.